Morning, dear learners. Welcome to teaching learning session. Today we'll discuss about advertising campaign planning, the strategic considerations. Today we'll discuss about the various considerations like strategic considerations, creative considerations, and media considerations of advertising campaign planning. It is required that here there should be a proper planning, right? And there should be a certain strategic considerations which one should take care of while planning about the advertisements. As we all know what is advertisement, as per AMA, advertisement is defined as any paid form of non-personal presentation. It is a paid form of non-personal presentation and a promotion of ideas and goods and services by an identified sponsor. We discussed it about many times, right? Let's not discuss further in detail, right? It is advertisement is nothing but an any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotions of ideas and goods and services by the identified sponsors, right? Advertising campaign, right? What is the advertising campaign? There are certain steps which one should follow for the campaign. Like the first step is to identify the target audience. It is required that one should identify the target audience. There should be STP, that is this segmentation, targeting and positioning is required. And the prerequisite for the successful planning is to understand and clearly identifications of your target audience, and it involves the process of STPs, that is the segmentation, targeting and positioning, right? It is important what is STPs. Segmentation is what? That is dividing the heterogeneous market into homogeneous group, that is known as the segmentation. And from those homogeneous group, it is required that you should find out your target audience. Target means target customer, or target audience means whom you want to cater, right? It is required that you should have a target audience. You should be very clear about the target audience so that you can identify their needs and wants and can make your product or service available to them. And P is known as the positioning. Positioning is creating a niche about the brand or a product in the mind of the customer, that is known as positioning. So first important step of campaigning is identifying the target audience, and it could be done through the STP. Then second is setting the goals. Required that you should set the goals, right? Advertising campaign have a set of hierarchical goals. That goal should be the SMART goals. There should have a SMART characteristics in the goals. It is important to focus on the setting the right type of the goals and also putting them in the right categories for a well established milestone. So first is identify your target audience, then set your goals, what you want to achieve, and their goal should have a SMART type of the characteristics. SMART is an acronym. SMART, S stand for the specific goals. Your goals should be very specified, crispy, and M stand for the measurable goal. You should be able to measure your goals, whether you have achieved your goals or not. Your goal should be aggressive or achievable, right? Your goal should be somewhat challenging. It should be achievable goals. Realistic goals are those goals which are realistic in nature and one could be able to achieve it. And your goal should be the time bound goals, that within the specified period you should be able to achieve your goals. So set your goals. Second is media third strategic step is media plan. This involves the selection of the most conducive media, or usually a combination. There could be a combination for carrying the message efficiently in the budget, right? So media plan should be there. The basis of reach, frequency, and impact of the most efficient media plan, right, along with deciding the timing of the campaign. So it is important that you should have a media plan. You should have an idea which is the most conducive, or a combination of the media for carrying out the message effectively and efficiently. On what basis, or the on what basis or on what frequency you would like to uh, uh, advertise your product, and the impact. And it is important to analyze the impact, to analyze the impact of the most efficient media plan, right, of most efficient media, and that the media plan is prepared along with deciding the timing of the campaign, right? That your media plan should go along with the timings of the campaign. Then fourth step is pre-testing and the execution. See, as we all know that it is an advertising is a costly affair because it includes money, right? Organization advertising is the paid form of uh, um, platform, right? So it includes money, it's a costly affair. It is sensible to pre-test or conduct the pilot testing before a full-fledged advertising campaign. Before going for the full-fledged campaign, it is required that one should pre-test or conduct the pilot testing for the campaign. This step involves the cross-checking of the final campaign and readjustment it according to the inputs received. This step is very important and it plays a key role between the planning and the final results. So pre-testing and execution is required. Then measuring the result, right? Planning and monitoring are twin functions. The final step uses for measuring the benchmarks identified in the previous steps. The evaluation of result would show the success or the failure of the advertising campaign. So it is required that you should measure the result, that whether you are able to achieve your goals or not. So measuring of result is the fifth important step in advertising campaign, right? Understanding the strategy in marketing, that marketing strategy in business decision making refers to the business overall plan of action for reaching the prospects and turning them into the loyal customer or the satisfactory customer for the product or the services, right? So strategy is defined as the general plans or a set of plans intended to achieve something, especially over a long period, right? So what is strategy? It is nothing, strategy is nothing but the plan or the set of plans, right? The intentions set of plans intended to achieve something, especially over a long period of time, that is known as the strategy. And the market strategy contains the company's value proposition. It involves the key brand message, information, and on the target customers demographic characteristics, and detailed information about marketing mix, that is the product price place and promotion, right? So what is strategic, what is the marketing strategy? Marketing strategy contains the value company's value propositions. Value proposition, what marketing strategy includes, what are the value proposition, company's value proposition? That is, it involves the key brand message, right? What message the brand wants to convey to the customer, it involves the key brand message, right? The information which the company wants to convey to the customer, uh, right? As well as the information of the on the target customers demographic characteristics, right? They should have the key information, key message information, as well as the information of the target customers, right? And the detailed information about the marketing mix, that is the product price praise and promotions. And the ultimate goal of marketing strategy is to achieve the sustainable competitive advantage over the competitors, using the expertise and understanding the needs and wants of the customers, right? So market research helps to chart the efficacy of the promotional campaign through the identification and segmentation of the potential customer into ranked target customer and achieved sales goals and the target, right? So marketing strategy in marketing involves various factors. It involves the brand message, information about the target customers, and the information about the marketing mix, so that the ultimate goal of all this information is to achieve a sustainable competitive advantage over the competitors. And marketing research helps a lot in this way. And the management scientist Henry Mintzberg stated that the field of strategic management cannot afford to rely on the single definition of strategy. Hence, he outlined the five definition of strategy on the interrelationship, like plan, Plan is what? Strategy includes not only the single definition, strategy includes plan. As per Henry Mintzberg, what is plan? Plan, it is a strategy as consciously intended course of action to deal with the situation. Right? Plan is what? It is the consciously intended course of action to deal with the situation. You have a plan, you have a consciously intended plan of action to deal with the situation. Then employee is what? It is treated as a maneuver or to outwit a competitor and also a part of a plan, right? So ploy pattern is defined as consistency in the behavior leading towards the defining strategy. There should be a consistency in the behavior pattern. Position is when strategy is mediating force or match between the organization, its environment, and the compatible with all or some of the elements of a marketing mix is positioning. And the perspective, the definition of strategy is concept or ingrained way of perceiving the world, right? That is whether you want to be a market leader or an aggressive challenger, whether you want to employ yourself as an aggressive challenger or a late mover, right? This perspective definition may also complete with the elements of the marketing mix, right? So as per Mintzberg, he defined that this strategy, he outlined the five definition of strategy and their interrelationship: plan, ploy, pattern, position, and perspective. As per plan, you should have a predefined or pre-consciously intended course of action. Ploy is treated with maneuver, right? Pattern is consistency in behavior. Position is mediating forces that are match between the organization, environment, and compatible with some of its element of the marketing mix. And the perspective is that is whether how one wants to portray itself, right? Strategic decision making process in promotion mix, right? It is required that one should take a strategic decision in the promotion mix. See, strategic management process is defined as a continuous appraisals of the business, its environment, and adopt the decision to beat the competitors. And strategic decisions is a complex process, right? Because the goal is to beat the competitors, to adopt the environment, and to appraise the business. So it is a complex process and it involves the multiple interdependent steps covering the formulation of organizations overall present vision and the future goals. So strategy is a complex process and it involves many things, like from present objectives to the future goals. It simply means planning, management, utilization of resources to define and achieve the objectives efficiently. So strategic decision involves that is you should have a plan of action, and as per the plan of action you should be able to manage your plan, your resources, and you should optimally utilize your resources to achieve your objectives efficiently, right? See, the process consists of this strategic decision consists of four steps. The first being the strategic intent, which involves setting the right vision, mission, and defining the business along with setting short-term and the long-term objectives. So strategic decision involves four steps. The first step is defining the vision of the company, defining what the company wants to be, what is the vision of the company, the mission of the company, how the business will impact the society or will help the society, the vision of the society company, the mission of the society company, and defining the short term and the long term objectives. Then the next step is the formulation of strategy after external and internal appraisal of the organization. The corporate strategic plan are broken down into the business, subunits, SBUs, or functional levels. So, first step is defining of vision, mission, and objective short-term and long-term project. The next step is formulation of strategies after evaluating the external and internal environment of the organization, and that corporate strategic plans are further divided into for further broken down or divided into the businesses or SBUs or the functional level. And the third stage is to implement the strategy in form of projects, campaign, or procedures. So first is you have defined at the corporate level, you define the vision, long term, short term projects. Then you divided those that into the three into that divided the corporate level, that you have defined the corporate strategic planning is broken down into the SBUs or business or the functional levels. Then third stage is implementation of strategies in forms of projects. You implement those strategies in form of projects or campaigns or procedures, etc. And the last stretch is called as the strategic evaluation. The input from evaluation would be used for further refining the strategic intent and is called the strategic control. The last step is the strategic evaluation, whether you have achieved your target, and the input from the evaluation, whatever one will get from the evaluation would be used for further enhancing the strategic intent and is called the strategic control, whether we should continue with those strategy or if any changes are required, should we change or will we be able to change those. The basic of strategic variable to be considered while making a plan for future uh, are products, services, customer, market, finances, people, process, technologies, and capabilities. Right. So the basic strategic variable. These are the basic strategic variable which one should consider while making a plan for the futures, right? While you are making a plan for the future, you should consider the variables like product, service, customers, markets, finances, people, process, technologies, and the capabilities. All these are the variables which one should keep in mind while making a plan, right? Advertising, campaign planning elements of promotion mix, right? That was the advertisement must be sync or aligned with other elements of integrated marketing communication. See, their integrated marketing communication is there are the various ways through which you can communicate with the target customer or the audience. That is known as the integrated marketing communication. There are many ways you can communicate, and advertising is one of the way to communicate with the customers, or this advertisement must be, or the advertising must be sync or with or alignment with other elements of IMC, other elements like digital media, like sales campaign, like publicity, right? Or many other elements are there. So this advertisement must be in sync or in alignment with other elements of IMC. Advertising campaign uses the diverse media channel over a particular time frame to reach out the target market, right? So this advertising campaign uses a diverse media channels. We use diverse media channels for a particular time frame, right? The theme of advertising campaign is the underlying message which the promotional activity will spell out is the main focus of the campaign, right? What is the main focus of the advertising campaign? The main focus of the advertising campaign is to convey the promotional or to convey the message which is actually the promotional activity, right? The main aim of the advertising campaign is to promote about the product or the services, or to convey the promotions or the convey about the product or the services to the target customers. Planning an advertising campaign is a multi-stage and is a complex process, and it involves many steps. The first step is the market research. It is required that advertising campaign planning should do the market research to understand the environmental opportunities and the threats, right? And it would focus on identifying the advertising opportunities. So it is important to carry out the market research while during that advertising campaign. Then identifying and profiling of target audience, then it is required that the from the previous step, right? The outcome involves the collection of demographic information of targeted audience, and it is important to note that the target audience are subset of the target customers identified as the market plan. So identifying and profiling the target audience, so it is before marketing research is required to understand the opportunities and the threats, and then identifying the profiling of the target audience, because then again we can make our marketing plan, right? Then defining the advertising objective, right? Then the third step is campaign planning, is to identify the best approach in the current scenario. The advertising objective can be multiple, like creating a brand, increasing the brand awareness, boosting the sales, or it could be conversation, or depending on ADA model, right? Normally the campaign have a multiple goals, right? That ranked and defined both qualitatively as well as quantitatively, right? It is important that these goals align with the corporate marketing and business goals of the organization. So first is market research, identification of the target customer, then the defining the advertising objective. The objective could be creating a brand, or increasing the brand awareness, or boosting the sales, or just passing on the information, or making a conversation with the customer, right? There could be a multiple goals, right? There could be a multiple goals for the advertising, but it is required that the advertising goals must align with the corporate goals, marketing and business goals of the organization, right? So the goals of advertising must align with the corporate goals, business goals, or the marketing goals of the company. Deciding the theme of the campaign is again important step. The next step involves a creative part of advertising decision. The theme in advertising is defined. Theme in advertising is defined as the central reoccurring idea or message intended to trigger desired action from the target audience. So theme, important is to decide the theme, because this theme or the uh, it is required to trigger, it is intended to trigger the desired action from the target audience, right? So it is considered is important part of the advertisement, right? This involves deciding the theme for the campaign and involve preparation of the multiple copies using the various appeals around the main themes. Some of the popular theme could be the patriotism, humor, fear, etc., right? And the same theme could be used for designing the campaign on the different media, right? So it is important that you should decide the theme of the campaign. It could be fear theme. Say for insurance companies normally use the fear theme, right? In case of accidents, in case of any of the problems or the health issues, who will help you out? That insurance policy will help you out. They try to create a uh, that is a fear. These are basically based on the fear themes. It could be on the basis of patriotism, right? Tata Namak, Desh Ka Namak, right? So it could be on the basis of patriotism. Humor, it could be on the basis of humor. You might have seen the ad of Fevicol, right? There are the multiple ads of the Fevicol, but the basic theme is on the basic theme of each and every copy of Fevicol ad is humor, that humorous ad, right? Then deciding the budget and the timeline, because advertising is a costly affair, right? It needs investment, and it is very difficult to measure its effectiveness in terms of increased sale or enhanced awareness. So it is very important to decide the budget. As per the budget, right? We can decide our media and many other things, and timeline, at what time and up to which time you would like to advertise your product, because again it again depends on the aware, it depends on the effectiveness, and it is required to measure the effectiveness, right? And this step involves the allocation of the budget, right? It could be one time decision, right? Or it could be done at the various stages depending on the length of advertising campaign. Then next step is selection of media and scheduling. Again, a very important step. The complexity of advertising campaign has increased many-fold due to availability of multiple media option. Now we have multiple media option, right? The internet has fueled this future by providing the cost-effective mega reach, but very volatile and the short attention span. See, you can place ads on the internet like Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads, but the problem with these type of ads is they are the short time, they are very volatile and they have a very short time attention spans, right? The choice of the media would involve the decision related to the timings, frequency, number of repetition of the advertisements. So important is one has to choose about the uh, media. After deciding the media, it is important to choose the timings or the frequency, right? Or the number of repetition of the advertisement, the circulation, in case of the print media reach to the impact measured in TRP, helps in deciding the most effective media portfolio for advertisements. So it could be, there could be many ways you can advertise your product: radio, television, print media, right? Nowadays internet media, every media has certain pros and cons. Executing the campaign. Execution of advertising campaign involve launching of advertisement along with other elements of promotion mix like personal selling supported by point of purchase material, publicity, etc. So it is important that you should, after all these things, you should execute your campaign, and it should involve many other things, many other elements of promotion mix like sales promotion, right? Or publicity and other ways. The other element of marketing mix must upgrade to reap the benefits of advertisement campaign like ensuring and distribution network to meet the demand. Then the evaluation and control. The last step in advertising campaign is the evaluation of the outcome of the campaign, and this result are compared with the qualitative objective defined in the planning stage, and comparison would be used to measure the degree of the success of the campaign, right? So it is important, the last is to evaluate, right? After launching of advertising campaign, it is important to evaluate the outcome, and the result can be compared with the with the quantitative objective defined at the planning stage, right? And the comparison would help us to the degree of success of the campaign, and this evaluation is done at the regular interval depending on the campaign timeline and the hierarchy of objective, right? There are the different types of the advertising campaign like the conventional or the traditional media campaign. A conventional or the simple media campaign depends on the traditional approach using bigger proportion of print and the television media to raise the brand awareness about the product or the services, right? This type of campaign have a long life and are regularly repeated for years. Example is Amul, right? They use the billboards, right? Or Tata products, they use basically the TVs, Mugli Gutti, they use radio, right? These are the traditional or conventional media campaign. Seasonal or push campaign. The second type of campaign is push strategic strategy plan, or to reap the maximum benefit of seasonal demand for the product or brand. And these campaigns are planned for the short term or for the short timeline, and the objective are more conversion oriented. For example, the campaign during the festival season in various countries, right? Then that is known as seasonal or push campaign, like at the time of Diwali or the Navratris or Holi, right? These are the push campaign. Eid. Then the product or brand launch campaign. Product or brand launch campaign, this type of campaign is specific to the time of the launch of the product or a new brand in the market, right? Creation of receptivity in the market for a new product requires the advertising campaign with the central message around spreading product awareness and improvise the customer readiness. And this campaign normally involves the teasers or pre-launch, then the high frequency advertisement during launching phase. Example, uh, the mother dairy launched a healthy milk for immunity boosting, right? So product or brand launch campaign when the company launches a new product or a brand. Campaign for boosting the brand awareness, then it could be to boost the brand awareness. The basic behind idea is to increase the visibility of brand and spread the awareness among the target customer, right? These are often used by the organization for launching a new brand or rebranding of the existing brand, right? There is a constant struggle to maintain or increase the brand popularity, and companies involved in marketing, specifically FMCG, the fast moving consumer goods, are regularly spending a large part of their budget on the brand awareness campaign, right? There is a easy replaceability and hence constant struggle to remain in the eyes of the customer, and so it is required to advertise frequently to reinforcement and the high level of brand awareness. Campaign for rebranding, right? Rebranding campaign involves marketing efforts to promote some major change in the organization, like name, logo, strategic decisions like merger or acquisitions or expansions, etc. Right? The purpose of this advertising campaign goes beyond creating an attention-catching advertisement through media. It can also be a conscious decision to follow a well-researched, well-planned, and rebranding existing product, right? So the objective is to refresh the brand image or the perception regarding the brand or the organization, right? Suppose some companies accused of the environmental damage, it might launch a rebranding campaign to improve its image, right? So it will have to work hard to convince the people that it is responsible company and take care about the environment. So rebranding. Then the contest marketing campaign, it is a part of the experiential market which thrives the customer involvement in the campaign, right? And this is becoming increasingly popular due to rise of the modern media like social media, email, or mobile advertisement. When the people comment about the product or write the reviews about the product, this is known as the contest marketing campaign, right? Then consideration in strategic consideration in advertising campaign planning, right? That the business environment is most important external and controllable aspects of the business, and it involves the combination of forces like customers, supplier, competitors, public, media, government, economic conditions, and many other external forces, right? Could be micro or macro environment. And in strategic management, organization analyzes the common general environment forces, normally force, namely pestle, that is the political. They should consider the pestle is political environment. They should consider about the economic conditions, and then the socio-cultural aspects. They should consider about the socio-cultural aspect, technology, environment, and the legal aspect should be considered while making an advertising campaign, right? So it is important that they should the advertising campaign must understand these factor and use these factor to understand the target customer's profile and the style, structure, scope, functioning of organization, right? Then situation and internal analysis plays a very important role. In continuation to the external analysis, strategic consideration also involves the internal environment, and it is important to analyze the internal environment, right? It involves the situational analysis, that is analysis of the synergetic effect of various internal forces for the success of any of the enterprises, right? Which involves the inherent capabilities of an organization like physical, workforce, financial or technological environment. So one should consider the macro environment through pestle or threats and opportunities for, and one should consider the micro environment, that is the internal environment, and all this should be considered, right, while making a strategic planning, right? Now advertising planning, campaign planning, that is the creative considerations, right? See, it is important that strategic planning is required. Again, in advertising, creativity plays a very important role, and it is required that there should be a creative considerations while planning the advertising campaign, right? What is creativity? Creativity in advertising is simply defined as the use of information or original ideas to create something appealing to the masses. That is what the creativity, that is using of the existing information, right? It is the use of the imagination or the original idea to create something appealing to the masses. You are using your imaginations, right, or original ideas to create something which appeals to the masses. Our creativity as a personality trait is defined as ability to make or otherwise bring into existence something new, to form a solution, method, device, artistic objects, etc. That is creativity. Creativity is nothing but the use of imagination or the original ideas to create something appealing to masses. That is known as creativity. There are various elements of creativity, like the basic aim of creativity in advertising is to provide value to the customers by creating a strong, appealing, meaningful connection through creative advertising campaign. That is what is required now. That is, you are trying to create a strong, appealing, meaningful, strong as well as appealing and a meaningful connection through creative advertising campaign. That is the basic objective, right? That is to create a meaningful connection with the audience. The target audience are more likely to resonate with the campaign if it is related to their interest or the social aspect. Creativity must within the limits of the moral and the ethical standards of the society, and creativity is important in each essential elements of the advertising. The creativity and the scientific combination of designing the right message shared at right place at the right time to the right target audience can boost the organization growth. So it's a the creativity and scientific combination of designing can boost the organization growth and build a brand and also win the space in the mind of the customer, right? Creativity plays a key role in deciding the right color. See, in creativity, this visual impact has a long lasting effect. So creativity includes many things. It includes deciding, it also includes even deciding about the right color scheme, the size, the shape, the font, depth, thickness, and overall presentation of a copy. Advertising can advertisement easy on eyes or distinct enough to grab attention ensures the target customer do not ignore it. Right? So ADA principle is the basic guideline or guiding tool for using the creativity, right? So even creativity includes small thing like choosing the right color, size, shape, depth, thickness, all this includes this. Choosing the right media, right? Then choosing the right media is even important. Right, we are in era of integrated marketing communication, right? We have choices, we have various medias where we can advertise our product. Has the choice of using the right media become even more difficult because of many options, right? And we must ensure that the right media is used for the right quantity and right quality to reach the audience depending upon the demographic profile of the target market, right? You can choose a judicious mix of traditional as well as the modern digital media. So it is important to choose the right media as per your target audience. You can use a media mix, right? Time is critical and crucial. It is important, right? And directly that timing is important and is directly dependent on the readiness stage of the customer, right? We must remember that the information regarding the consumer behavior, including the buying habit, is used in deciding the timing of the advertising campaign. As we know that during the festive season, people usually buy the thing, right? So the timing is very important, right? Now, there are certain days where Hindus don't prefer to buy the things, that is at the time of Shraddhs, right? So, timing is very important and crucial, right? At what time you would like to advertise your product is very important. Then, actionable or call for action. Advertising must use call for action as a prominent appeal. Appeal should be there, right? When picking up the final copy of the advertisement, we must ensure that there is a clear call for action and also the time boundedness of this action, right? That is, advertising campaign normally has a storyboard, and the advertisement must follow the right sequence to keep the audience engaged and to take the action. There should be call for action, right? The message should be conveyed very clearly and specifically that one should what action one should take, and it should be a time bounded action, right? Themes in advertising campaign planning, there are various themes, right? What is the themes? Actually, again, the theme, the first element of creativity in advertising campaign planning is theme and is the central idea, right? It is the central repetitive message that promotes the brand awareness. This idea is reflected in all advertisement in the campaign, irrespective of media or timing. Theme is a major element of any advertisement campaign, right? And it is a central theme is the central and the repetitive message that promotes the brand awareness, right? It's a central message or the repetitive message which one wants to convey to the to the audience, and this idea is reflected in all advertisements in the campaign irrespective of media or timing. An advertising campaign immediately connects the brand or the product with the audience, utilizing the theme in television advertisement, radio, or anything. The objective of advertisement theme is to position the product firmly into the mind of the target customer and ensure that there is a high recall value. So, what is the objective of the theme? The objective of the theme is to position the product in the mind of the customer and to ensure the high recall value for the product or the brand, right? And the advertising agencies prepares a series of advertisement within the theme so that customer receives the same message in these several different ways, but the meaning and message registered in their mind should be same. This repetitiveness of theme makes the advertising campaign much more effective in comparison to the different individual advertisements without common theme. So, because of the repetitive message, because of the same type of the theme, right, this creates a high recall value in the recall value for the brand or the product, right? There could be various themes like sensibility. The theme shows the decision of buying a product or brand as the most sensible thing to do in comparison to the competitors. Right? So this is sensibility. Right? If you will do this, this would be the most sensible thing one will do. Right? Next is comfort. Right? Next theme could be the comfort. The theme we normally see in the consumer durables like cars, air conditions. Comfort as a theme in highly popular as basic human tendency to make the life comfortable, right? Like in cars, you might have seen that they show how comfortable it is to drive and to be in that car, and how AC makes our life comfortable, right? Sensibility shows the decision of buying the product as the most sensible thing. Like you might have seen the ad of cement, right? If you will purchase this cement, then it will be the most sensible decision you will make, right? Looks and beauty again play could be the theme, and the this theme is at the center of the basically the cosmetics and the apparel, right? Human obsession with the looks, skin color, hair, and clothing makes the theme huge success, right? This theme too is often debates for its ethical and moral responsibilities. So looks and beauty could be another theme, right? Social and family values, like you might have seen the ads of no marks cream or sun protection cream, right? Nah, it is related with the glow. 10 minute में glow गया, 10 minute में glow आया types of things you might have seen in the ads, right? Social and then the family values, like in traditional markets like India, family and the family values plays a predominant part in the customer behavior, right? The theme is popular in advertising campaign where the target markets are marketed according to the different demographic profile, right? Like the advertising campaign by Coca-Cola for a year has positioned itself as a brand which cares about the social relations and the family. Nowadays, the ads of dairy milk, right? Family, friends, and the social group are together. Were the themes of Coca-Cola commercials. And nowadays, you might have seen the ad of that dairy milk or the Nestle products, right? That uh, that family are enjoying that dairy milk, or it is at the time of Raksha Bandhan that their brother and sister are gifting each other those chocolates or the boxes of chocolates, right? Then the prestige and the pride. In 1970s, the popular advertisement of advertisement campaign of the Anida TV played a key role in bringing the theme for the forefront of the advertising, like ego satisfaction, right? That is envy, neighbors envy, right? That was the ad of Anida, right? So prestige and pride, advertisements of jewelry, it is on the theme of prestige and pride. You might have seen the advertisements of Tanishq or Gitanjali, right? Then the patriotism could be the theme, right? In which the actually it becomes more predominant during the national festival like Independence Day and the Republic Day, right? Apart from these, there are common themes like love, courage, fear, self confidence, achievements, etc. Like uh, fear, as I said, that insurance company uses these themes, right? Then courage, you might have seen the ad of that soft drink, right? It shows that आज कुछ तूफान नहीं करते हैं types वाला, right? Then the self confidence, you might have seen the ad of scooty, or a girl is driving some car or scooter, that shows the self confidence or the achievements, right? uh, Themes for the love, right? Advertising appeals in advertising campaign. What is appeal? Appeal is defined in many ways, but the most suitable definition for marketing is suggestion that tries to influence somebody's feeling or thought so that he or she will do what you want. That is appeal. That is influencing someone's feeling, right, or thoughts in a way that he or she will do what you want, right? Advertising appeal is a strategic tool commonly used by the marketer to attract the customers, engage them, trigger a response towards the brand or the product in form of inquiry or a purchase or a repeat purchase, right? Type of advertising appeals. It could be musical, right? Music ads are distinct flavor to the advertisement and contributes to grab the attention, right? Why do we need the appeals, right? Advertising appeals is a strategic tools that is commonly used by the marketer to attract the customer and engage them and trigger a response for a brand or the product in form of, it could be in form of inquiry or a purchase or a repetitive purchase. Musical ads, a distinctive flavor of an advertisement and contributes to the to grab the attention, and the music creates the emotional connect and can motivate the people. Music function a bridge between the consumers and the brand product, right? So music delivers the message subconsciously to the listener. They casually receives it along with holding to the beat and humming the melody while looking at the items that the music target. It become enjoyable and effortless exposure, hence is more engaging, right? The characteristics of music like different tunes, instruments, tempos, pitches, content serves the variety of purpose in advertising campaign, right? It plays an influential role in storytelling in the advertisements, right? Adding the right music has advantages like easy to grab the attention and generating the interest, and it could be more engaging, long lasting memory of advertisement and a high recall value. Ad of use of different situation and must be catchy, crispy and clear. When I was a kid, I still remember that ad of जब मैं छोटा बच्चा था बड़ी शरारत करता था, तब रोशन होता बजाज और आज भी घर के अंदर रोशन होता बजाज. It was an ad of the Bajaj bulb, right? So it was the, that was the ease, this musical appeal helps in grabbing the attention. It engages the people or the customer, long lasting memory, as I still remember that ads on use of different situation. It must be catchy, crispy and clear. Then humor is light on mind, but with a heavy in terms of impact on the customer. Humorous advertisements are popular, easy to remember, and can grab and hold the customer's attention, and in most cases leave a positive impression on the customers, both towards the customer as well as the brands. Advertisements of Fevicol is based on the humor, as well as nowadays, that if you have seen the advertisement of that mm, what is that program, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of that program. They have created a very humorous ad, right? Shark Tank, right? Shark Tank. They have created a very humorous ad, right? And nowadays, that ad is actually humorous, right? How they made humor of the CEOs of the big companies, right? Emotional. The next is the emotional appeal. Emotional appeal plays a role in consumer behavior, and hence we see this appeal in majority of advertisement. It is a combination of various emotions like love, happiness, joy, fear, courage, right? Various ads are based on this emotional appeal. Advertisements of chocolates at the time of Raksha Bandhan, or advertisement of joy when that Alia Kapoor is driving that scooty, right? Advertisement of courage when or trust, right? So all these plays a very important role. Then the rational appeals, that a section of marketer assumes that the consumers are rational in decision and hence frequently use the various type of rational appeals, right? And uh, this involves appealing to the person's logic and evaluate the reasoning, making them feel sensible, like feature appeal on the basis of features, right? When you advertise your product, favorable price appeal, right? Because the product is price, there are the favorable prices, reasonably priced, and the competitive advantage appeals. All these are the rational appeals. Then the masculine, feminine, or the sexual appeals are there. Brand, status, or endorsement appeal, like ego, pride, prestige, all these are brand, status, or endorsement appeal. Then again, it is important to consider the media. Advertising campaign planning includes the media consideration, and it is very important, right? Because advertising is what? It is an exercise of promoting a company or its product or the services. Advertising is the best component of marketing. While the new age definition of marketing would be simplified, all marketing elements must work together for unified marketing campaign of the delivery, right? So objective and the type of advertisements, the three main objective of advertisement: to inform about the brand or the offering, persuade to buy or perform a task, and remind or reinforce the brand message. That is to inform, right? Then to persuade to buy, and to reinforce or remind the brand message. These are the three objectives of the advertisement, right? So to inform is, advertisements are used to increase the brand awareness and the brand exposure to the target customer, right? So this is the first step towards the attainment of the goal. To persuade or persuading customer to perform a particular task is a major objective of advertising, right? The task may involve buying or trying of the product or the services, right? Or developing a favorable attitude towards the brand. And the third is to remind, another objective of the advertisement, to reinforce the brand message and to reassure the existing potential customer about the brand vision, right? There are the types of advertising, right? That is, first is ATL, above the line advertising. Above ATL includes activity that is largely broad-based, targeted, and have wide reach. Example, above the line advertisements are the TV, newspaper, radios, etc. So media consideration, while we are considering the media, it is important to understand which media is important, right? There are various type of advertising. The first type of advertising is above the line advertising. Above the line advertising, that is ATL, includes the activities that are largely broad based, targeted, right? They want to target the masses and hence have a wide reach, like TV, newspaper, and radio. ATL marketing is often done on the large scale, with the marketers not being in the direct contact with their prospects or the customer. On one go, with this marketing approach, if one wants to increase, to reach the brand or spread awareness about the brand and cater to a wider audience. So by this ATL, right, one can increase the reach of the brand because it covers the masses, it spread awareness about the brand, and it can cater the wider audiences. Next type of advertisements is below the line advertisement, BTL. It includes the conversation focused activities which are directed towards the specific target audience. Example, below the line advertisements are the billboards or the sponsorship or in-store advertising, that is BTL, right? That is, it is focused activities which are directed towards the specific target group, right? Like billboards or the sponsorship or in-store advertising, that there is an advertisement in stores, right? Whosoever is visiting that store will come to know about that. And then the sponsorship could be there, billboards, right? It is covering just a small area, right? Then against through the line advertising, TTL, it includes activities which involve the use of both ATL and BTL, right? Strategies simultaneously. These are directed towards brand building and conversion and make use of targeted advertising strategies. Example of through the line advertising is cookie based advertising or digital marketing strategies, etc. Right? So this is TTL, that it is including both ATL and BTL, right? These are directed towards the brand building and conversions and make use of the targeted or personalized advertising strategies, right? So it includes both TTL, that is example of TTL is cookie based advertising. When you visit some site, they say we use the cookies, right? We may send you advertisement as per the cookies, right, as per your interest. So cookie based advertisement or digital marketing strategies is TTL type of advertisements, right? The advertising campaign planning, the first step is to define the 4 W's and 1 H in advertising campaign planning. And the 4 W's are why, who, what, when, why. The H is how. 4 W are why, what, who, and when, and H is how, why. This is very. We'll continue with this in our next lecture. Till then, namaskar.